an interesting topic for us to discuss in terms of like numbers, because there's a statement, statistics are like a bikini, right? What the cover is important, but what they show is provocative, right? So we had to go and do our research into that and see how well we should take
What is
statistics and
what?
thing because
Zwade, I'm sure nobody else but you
yo,
says that.
I think you just made
all
that up.
right, so I should copyright
I'm
it.
100% sure that you're the only person on
So
planet Earth that says this.
I am going to say this, right? I did not make it up, right? But if I did make it up, would you men at least appreciate it for the genius in the statement? That is what I'm asking though.
No. Anyway, the
I
last
didn't make it up.
Purchase your tracks today.
Okay, good evening guys. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here. And especially facilitating me and my busy schedule, you know. Again, thank you for facilitating me, right? I have a hectic few weeks ahead. So this window just presented itself ahead of our usual Monday night recording and our meeting because Tuesday morning I have an exam and so I don't have any mood to study right now. So might as well deal with one of life's greatest pleasures, football. And given the fact that things aren't on their usual program these days, our topic and our discussion will be really, really interesting. Anyhow, so we were about to discuss something that triggered a lot of passionate debate last week. The five best midfielders of all time.
Season. If you're putting 5 players in it of midfielders,
Five midfielders of all time, midfielders,
Paul
all time
Scholes is in it.
footballers.
Paul Scholes and Gerrard are in it for me.
They're in the top 5
They're 100%.
of world midfielders.
100%.
So you got Xavi. Where's Xavi and Iniesta?
Who?
Xavi and
Yeah,
Iniesta.
Xavi and Iniesta, of course, they're unbelievable.
Okay,
but
so
they
Zidane-
learned.
Zidane, hang
they
on,
used
so-
to watch. They used to watch videos of how Paul
Okay,
Scholes
okay,
played.
but-
If you put Paul Scholes in that Barcelona team,
Yeah.
he would have been
Oh,
better
of
than
course.
Iniesta and
but,
Xavi.
But you've got a table of 5.
Now, this is a topic that nobody, I think, would really have general agreement on because it all depends on your influences, your geography, your tastes, and all those things. So, let me hear all the fellas. What do you think, first of all? Let me establish the baseline credentials here.
Okay.
What would qualify somebody to be one of the 5 best midfielders of all time? What makes a great midfielder, actually?
You got Osei.
Well, for me, how I choose my favorite players or the best players to me would be a feeling, right? Not so much stat based, but a guy who could control a game from any position. Um, a midfielder, one of the best midfielders in the world had to be a guy who could, under pressure, double team, man marking, could still get free and create something. Would have their stamp on any game. So basically, when you go into a game, you know that guy is gonna come through, do something special, unlock it or score a goal for himself. So
Yeah.
that's my criteria.
And I mean, about the same. About
So,
the same for me
just-
is. Go ahead.
No, continue. I want to hear about the same because I want to see where the headspace is.
No, so about the same for me. A midfielder for me is a creator. I'm not really a fan of. I said this before in the previous. I'm not a fan of the midfielder as a tempo setter. For me, I have to do more than that. So when I think about best of all time, is players who once they're on the field, they exerted like a kind of dominance on how the game went for their team in attack. And it's players who, when I look back, it's either, I remember just how ridiculously good they were, the feeling that they left, the impact they had on games, beyond just goals and assists, but but I mean, typically those players also end up having good goals and assists anyway. But
Yeah.
beyond that, they're just the influence.
So, based on both of your definitions, there's no consideration for a holding midfielder or defensive midfielder feature in the discussion anyway.
Not top five.
But
Not
they're
top five.
midfielders, not top five.
No, not for me.
So all right. So it's exclusive. We
what
say
about you? What about
exclusively
you?
creative.
What about you?
No, I understand. No, I started to believe that Andre's position on it and mine would have dovetailed to an extent where he said dominated the game and played that influence, right? But
Okay.
he stopped only at the line of the creativity, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of influence in a game, the possibility and the capability of influence may not just be read in hard figures of goals, assists, just like that. They might be the person who creates the pass, who the person who passes, the person
So a
who
hockey
actually
assist
scores. So
then.
they're like the secondary
Assist the
assist.
assistant.
A hockey assist.
Yeah, things like that. So I'm wondering now because I mean, as I said, this is a wide-ranging possibility for discussion, and
Yep.
I recognize based on the back and forth in the internet and the discussions that this could be very, very voluminous. I mean, one day I think we'd had to engage. One day, we had to look into the possibility of again calling. I got a request like that, When you go and start asking callings on the program, I was like,
that's not too a long
I was
show.
like,
Man.
yeah.
That's not too a long
Long time listener.
No,
First
I
time
mean-
caller from
Yeah, but I mean, I'm interested, but I know we're not there yet, but there's something to keep in because I mean, moments like these to get the engagement, right? And some I want to say, boy, well, you have to do this, boy, it'll be good. So anyhow, so we narrowed it down to creativity output.
No,
I mean,
no,
that's-
that's just for me and Andre. Yours
right.
could be
You have
different.
yours too. If you want to choose defensive and thing, that's you.
So how are we gonna do it?
Yeah,
Are we
but
gonna start
again,
from our
what do you
five?
find?
Start from our five, go wrong, then four go wrong, three. All right.
No.
cool.
I think each person do their five.
Okay.
Each person
Who's
do their
good?
five and they soliloquy and then everybody chime in and hate and thing and then we go from there.
So who's going first though?
The hating is essential.
You self-say, you.
Me.
I want to hear your
No.
five.
Right. Now, shucks. You know what you have to do for moments like this? You
Yeah.
gotta get a coin. Each of us have a coin, right? And
Rock
you flip
paper
it,
scissors.
and the odd
Who
person
going?
out. No, you can't do rock paper scissors like right now. Alright, right, there you go. Ready?
That's
serious?
true. Andre don't look like he was playing rock paper scissors. He too cool for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Right.
Rock,
So
paper. You gotta edit out.
that's dynamite. All right. Yeah, but all right, I'll go first. No problem. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from a number five, but that's cool.
Let me hit number one.
Number
Yeah,
you
number
five.
You go number five up, right?
We start
Number
out.
Yeah.
We start. He's going 5 up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for my number five Arsenal fan. I don't have any Arsenal players in my top five.
Well, that's good. That's good. It shows that you
Yeah.
actually have the maturity to understand. It's a hope for you. It's a hope for you. It's still a hope.
Yeah, I ain't sure if I want to do this anymore. No.
I mean, we have the
I ain't sure if I want to do this anymore. All right, wait, I'll get ready for the start.
Let me hear. It's a safe space here, guys.
Oh,
Go ahead.
God.
This is a safe space.
My number five best.
okay on this man.
You all not realize like it's so ridiculous. Like you realize it's too ridiculous to you mentioned. You can't
It's
stand by
not
number.
ridiculous, but this is my personal number five best midfielder.
Let me hear.
I'm gonna go with Stevie G. My number five top midfielder. The reason I think Stevie G for me is he influenced the game in so many ways. He could stretch it with his legs, playing right behind the striker. Could unlock it with his passing. We know about his shooting from 40 yards. So for me, he was definitely key in setting the standard for midfielders in England. He never won the league. That's a notch against him. Well, do you know about
Is
the
it?
slip?
Is it? Is it really? Should it be?
Yeah, well, a lot of people in this era of winning, that's a big strike against him. But he's my number five. I would have him on my team.
Where write this song? I have to write this song.
I'd have him on my team. Stevie G shooting, passing, creating with his
As
legs.
CBG is solid. CBG is solid. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of
He's
hate
our
for this,
pick.
but anyway, my number four is Andres Iniesta. I don't know, boy. Something about Iniesta, boy. The slowest guy on the pitch, walking past people. You just can't win the ball. I still don't know how he does it. And he going into danger, teams will funnel you into danger. Go into danger, come out of danger, make a player like dog. This is your ideal for slow players to emulate, dog, but it's hard to
You think you think he had more years?
So
Like he
what's
could have
the
still
pick?
stayed in Barca?
I mean, I think
What's
Barca
the word?
was on a trend going down. These players will know themselves. I'm sure he could have stayed until he retired, but he maybe wanted a new challenge. I don't know.
Because his game wasn't based on legs, so I just
On
find it
pace, yeah.
interesting that
So
yeah.
maybe if he dropped and maybe he'll beat less, he could have be like the number five or number six, passing it, spreading it, maybe. I don't know, but Iniesta always affect the game. He was a key cog in Barca's system. Right, can get a lot of flack for him playing him alongside Xavi. They say they were too similar, but he was definitely different.
Andres
Let me get
Iniesta
you.
was number 4. What was number 3?
Number three is Zidane.
Okay.
What can I say about this guy, boy? Zidane. I don't know what is the international name for it, but he's a guy who hit you two roly-poly, dog. Two in a
That's
row.
called a roulette. Have you no
It just-
culture? A roulette.
No,
A
two
roulette.
roly-poly, right?
Right.
Man, I
A
class.
double roulette. Wow.
He will jump up
I'm a little class now, boy. You
4
go.
feet in the air and his foot is extended 2 feet higher and take it down, right? He will walk, collect it deep and walk past you. He will beat you. I see him beat and Beckham without even touching the ball. And Beckham going so like horse. What's going on here, boy? 2 headers in a World Cup final. He didn't even score with his feet. That was how good he was. He also he stamped a man in 98, I think, and he beat Materazzi. But he got study that. He just talk about the
So because he
different
put
parts.
Materazzi, that make him stand out for you. That's what you saying?
No. That's just part of
That
it.
shows what he had.
He was crazy too. What else? 2002. That's Champions League volley. What else can we talk about with that? Great passes. Total control of the ball. Ball manipulation. If you're not quick, if you're not that strong, ball manipulation. Cutting at the right time, change the direction, change the speed. Quick thought. Zidane had it all. As Andrew was saying before, if you play him at a 5, you play him at a 10, at 8, he would dominate in any position.
So much so I can't even say what position was he?
Zidane was at 10, but he used to roam so much.
Yeah. You
That
so
was-
just
so
wherever
I-
you
I-
feel to go, yeah, you good.
So as you say any names,
Yes.
I write down what position they are. And I
Zidane-
said in here, I don't know what I write down for Zidane. Is it a 6 or is it an 8?
Zidane was at 10.
Yeah.
The type of play at 10, but he used to.
Yeah, you just.
I mean, the 10 long ago, the Trifactor, they call it in Italy, they could go anywhere. They would just flit around. They might take half the game off and then come to life and create something.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is, well, you guys already know what my number 2 and 1 is. So, but my number 2 is Diego Maradona.
Alright.
The thing about Maradona for me is he used to get so much
Let me
kick,
understand. Why you would say
Right.
something so controversial yet so brave? Let me hear this.
What's that? What
Maradona
do you
number
mean?
2, you saying?
Yeah.
Number 2, you saying Maradona is number 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about your number 1 now.
It's only
That's why
one
I
number
ask
one
it.
for me though.
Well, this is why I suspecting.
Before the meeting start,
Sorry, sorry.
I asked you what he was. So
You
anyway,
good, you good, you good, you good,
my
you good.
my number two Maradona. So he used to get someone kicks. He would try to walk on his hands, not fall down. Go past one, two, and this is the era where you could have kicked him by your neck, clothesline you, two-footed tackles, and he would still dribble the ball. Um, that run against England in was it '86? I think so. That controversial hand of God. We clearly see that most of my players are flawed in some ways, but on the next side they
It's
make up
about
for
the
it in
art, not the
skill.
artist.
They make up for it in certain ways. But yeah, Maradona could unlock it with passing, dribbling. These guys, I now understand the pattern what I like. Total mastery of the ball. If they want to put the ball in the Japanese from a free kick, they're going to put it up there. If they want to use inside the foot, outside the foot to make a pass, it's going to be perfect weight. If they want to dribble you, dribble 5 members of your team, and then score a goal or make the pass. That's the kind of guys I like. Maradona number 2, number 1, no surprise. Ronaldinho Gaucho. What can I say? At his peak, for me, he epitomized everything I love about football. Total control of a game, total control of the crowd, total control of the opposing crowd, total control of well, his stab was not so quick because of lack of discipline. I can't even say an era. What is that era, Andrew? But
Big man,
um,
according to time, your time up. Also,
right.
talk your
So
call for wrap it up.
I don't why I have to Ronaldinho though.
You
Right,
know, like you're wrapping up our mummy, right?
right.
Wrap it up, quick, quick, quick.
The man would pause the game to cap 3 men though. Yes. Hey, take it. And that's part of the game and still win the game, still win the league, still win the Champions League, still win the Ballon d'Or, still win the FIFA Pro Player of the Year. So he got the flair part of it. He had the stats, he had the trophies, he had all the accolades. My number 1 midfielder ever, Ronaldinho Gaucho.
All right. So it just hit me that. So you choose like your favorite number 10, favorite players of all time, favorite midfielders of all time. Not necessarily. I don't know if it is. If you're saying these are the
So,
greatest.
well, for me, they are the greatest.
Okay.
And they are my favorites.
All right. So for me, let me just go through. So I try to choose the greatest just based on. So there's players I didn't get to see. I'm not 45, so I didn't get to see all these players. But it's just so when I was trying to pick this list, so when we talk about this topic, I'll list out must be 25 men, and I try to rate them based on what I've seen. So yeah, there's highlights. I went through a phase. Where I watched real highlights growing up. I try to find long game highlights, people analysis of players, etc. So all right, so number 5 is actually Francesco Totti for me. I think he is the most
He's a
underrated.
midfielder?
Yeah, he's a tricotista.
Okay.
He was the original number 10 man. Nah, obviously not. But Francesco Totti for me is criminally underrated. I got to see him play games week in, week out, but as him, even at a little older phase, when you watch the younger phase, the first time passes is ridiculous. First time, so he had this thing where he will be back to goal. You pass to him, first time he hitting this raking ball behind his back almost with either his left foot or right foot. Then it has so all these players that are the greatest for me are players that when I saw them, I saw their body of work. It's something I had never seen done that way before or after. So so his first time passing and then his ability to spot a chip. I don't know if you remember how every now and then he used to pull out a chip. Here's
Yeah, for
this.
sure.
It wasn't even a
for
one-on-one.
nothing. For
It's not
nothing.
even a one-on-one. It's like
It's outside
for
the
nothing.
18 yard box. Outside the
Yeah.
18.
Yeah. And it's things where before you see players do it, but it didn't really do it as smooth as him. After you see players do it, it's not really looking as good as how he do it either. So that's number 5. Number 4 is Zidane. Interestingly enough, so as you get older, you get to kind of revise how you're seeing things. So while Zidane was playing, I used to find they used to rate up everything he do too much. Like, so Zidane would hit a true ball and they say, "Oh, what a pass!" And it's just like,
So
at that time,
don't arguments I do that.
So at that time, so when he was in Real Madrid, there was a player in Spain at the same time. I don't know if I remember him. A guy called Juan Valeron.
Carlos Valeron, of course.
For Deportivo, right?
Valeron.
Of course. That Deportivo side was very good, eh? Sorry, go ahead.
So I used to be toting because I'm like, only written up Zidane little pass. Look, watch Valeron pass. You understand? But all right, in hindsight, you watch Zidane and there's so much moments stick out. I remember when Zidane played, I think that was 2006 World Cup against Brazil in the final.
Yeah.
Right? Real big performance. Then you have and you're watching the big performance when Kaká and Ronaldinho and they starting to look more ordinary because of how much he was playing.
And Ronaldo.
Yeah. All these players are looking kind of
Ronaldo.
basic and you're like, wait, now this man's so good. And then you just think about all these moments where there's things he did that is just incredible. He had a jump. I remember there was a pass where he do a jumping, turn it in the air, chest trap.
Yes, yeah. And then cut it back to stop it.
And then cut it back with the left foot.
Cut it back.
Right?
Yeah.
So he was a player where even when it didn't come off, right? It had plays where he missed the chance. He threw it away. He skied the shot and thing. But you still remember the moment because it was just, I can't believe what I just see. Because you're watching the game and you think you know what's going to happen, but then the man making magic out of nothing. All right. Number 3 is Dino for that same reason. I remember there's so many moments with Ronaldinho where, right, and this is me older. I've seen enough now. I kind of know what to expect when I'm watching football. And here's this man doing a 360 drag out of nowhere. Here's this man doing a scoop pass, the free kick under the wall, the whip whap, the elastico, right, whatever. All these things where it's just, you're watching the game and you just can't believe, like, so you seeing, kind of like what you say about Iniesta, you're seeing him, wait now, this man going into a dead end, boy. And then next thing you know, not only is it not a dead end, it's looking like a very good chance all of a sudden. And you just remember, like, so Ronaldinho had so much moments where you just remember, right, I remember the Clasico when the Bernabeu gave him the standing ovation. He had Sergio Ramos looking foolish.
Yeah, only 3 players get that in history, by the way. Jesse.
Yeah, and then you remember his bicycle. Ronaldinho changed. I think he had a huge influence on like so many players that came after how they played the game. You know, I make jokes in my writing about people wearing headband and thing now and all this stuff, but it's true. Like, he had an influence. All right. Number 2, when I watch highlights of old players, so as you all know, I'm not a Pele is the GOAT. I'm not a Pele is the GOAT man because when I watch all the highlights, I'm just trying to look at football. I'm not trying to look at what is the socio-political, you know, he could have been transformative and innovative at his time, but watching it and I'm like, I mean, it's not that special. Not that. Anyway, when I watch Cruyff, who is my number 2, when you watch what Cruyff was doing, it was so ahead of his time.
Cruyff was a midfielder? I'm feeling weird now. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
I thought you were a striker. Sorry.
You see, again, that was more in the era where it was more pigeonhole. So yeah, he had to be more. He was attacking midfield.
Number 10.
But
Number 10.
That's a great pick, though.
Nah, so
yeah,
when when you watch long clips of Cruyff, when you watch
Yeah.
all the things he's doing, it's crazy. You're just watching. Wait, so Pele had a sort of the same effect. When I saw Pele, I'm watching him doing things that okay right now is kind of normal. You will see it from I don't know, even a man like Rafinha on Leeds, how he dribbles and stuff. You will see Pele doing stuff like that, and in that context of time, it's like, yeah, he ahead of his time. But what he was doing, it didn't strike as being like, oh, like it. Not me. When I look back,
Yeah.
when I watch Cruyff, it still looked like the kind of stuff you see in Messi doing now. So it looked like this is things that work on the most organized defense, most tactically aware defense. It will still work. People that are doing the technical defending properly and closing properly, body angles properly, it's still going to work. And yeah, it's just, he's one of the ones where when I look back, I see his stuff as timeless because it's just, he was special. And
All
then,
right, I just before you move on to the other point, I just want to confirm it now. According to Wikipedia, them classifying him as a forward attacking midfielder.
yeah.
So he get through. He qualifies.
So no doubt. So Osei seemed to like the profile as like a number 8-6. My midfielders are number 10-8s. I'm more Tricotista all the way through. So then number one is Maradona for sure. Maradona is right. So a lot of times people try to get into the greatest of all time debate. For me, that's kind of tricky because there's a lot of times you can watch an old clip and you can see what this defender had to be like. This had to be a part-time thing he doing. He's a pharmacist full-time and he just come out and defend him because he didn't even see it right, whatever. So you watch Maradona and them defenders wasn't part-time. You watch Maradona and it's defenders who are trying to kick you down because it was allowed.
Yeah.
You watch Maradona and it's teams who were playing Cantanasio, 10 men behind the ball, and he made his teammates better. So when you read and look out at things about Napoli and you see a lot of the footage and stuff like that, when you watch all Argentine footage and stuff like that, you're just seeing that you could see his teammates started realizing what they were working with and basically started expecting the ball in different ways and stuff. Like, yeah, he was special. And it's almost like he was Messi playing in a time where there was no protection from the referees, which is mad. So
Great list. I'm interested to hear. I'm interested to hear Zwade's list.
you gonna say
right, so
Dennis Lawrence is number 1.
No, there's other defenders too.
I know.
Right? But yeah, what going on, right? Because that's why I want to establish a metric, right? Because I didn't know one of my favorite players is Captain Fantastic Roy Keane, right? But since we're talking about in terms of the goals so and shit, it doesn't make sense putting him that debate. So I just,
No.
we being real.
Zwade,
So I have to
listen to me.
No.
Zwade, listen to me, right?
Yeah, why?
This is
Let me explain.
This is a good contrast. You pick who you think are the best midfielders ever.
Yes.
Right.
Once they are midfielder, you pick it.
I'm qualifying it, right? That's why I want to set the metric from early, right? Because in terms of all wrong, right? Roy Keane provided a spine to that team that has still not really been fully replaced, right? But
he's number 5 for you?
in terms of yeah, that's what I mean. Because and when you hear because I want to leave out Gerrard, right? But Roy, does it, right? But number 4 though, I don't know if you might remember this guy or you might agree with this guy.
Who's that,
But you see one Roman Riquelme?
Yeah, Riquelme.
One Roman Riquelme, right? When I was younger, and I'm talking, he was what I describe now as an architect of space. The kind of true balls he used to tread. And Like it wasn't. It was like, dog, you're not supposed to be able to do this. How you moving at that speed and you still getting through? And I
Yeah.
mean, for a long time,
Because he was real
I
slow.
was yeah. For a long time, I was like, and even up to this day, I prefer to hit that through ball. I looking right, yeah, come right again. I want to get it. And I realize how
Because it
much
can't
that
beat,
shit
that's
because
all.
one Roman
Sorry, go
not
ahead.
could
Sorry,
beat,
sorry,
nah,
go
don't
ahead, go
do
ahead.
it,
Sorry, go ahead now. Sorry, go ahead now.
right,
Sorry.
right. One Roman McKelmy though, in terms of his vision, his ability to connect a pass, and even at times his ability to turn you out and leave your foot dead
Yeah.
was real underrated to me. You see, Riquelme was definitely a boss. I mean, some people might say, well, oh, he was at Barca, he didn't, but he was still commendable in his performances. He taught Villarreal for years,
Yeah, he
right?
gave her an identity.
Yeah, and definitely I rate him. Now I know my uncle co-son me because I didn't pay him money list, right? But gosh, uncle Andy, you know,
Uncle Andy, you
right?
can't make this list. Don't study it. Maybe best
You,
Trinidad,
you yeah, well, go
best
very true. That
Trinidad
there's that
midfielder
thing,
in the
yeah,
world.
right. Number three, he was called before Andres Iniesta, right? I rate Iniesta real highly, and the reason I rate him highly is because again, he's an architect of space. He has put himself into some kind of cul-de-sac and hit you. I don't know, and you don't know how the man moving. You're seeing his movements are purely almost instinctive, right? It's not to say like if he have a, like he will
Yeah,
compensate for a mistake
yeah,
and deal with it and make it turn it over to his advantage. Andres Iniesta to me is ridiculous, especially how he's able
he
to
is.
always be available for the pass firstly and then keep the play moving. He is ridiculous, and I rate him a
So,
lot, right?
so I didn't say it during Osei, but the only reason why Iniesta didn't make my top 5 is because I saw a player like him before. So I don't know if I remember Michael Laudrup. I remember him.
Well,
So
well,
Yeah,
and
vaguely,
My,
but I think I
Michael
don't
I
watch him
was
play
gonna
much,
put
but yeah.
I was gonna put him as my number 5, but I don't want to put him because I never watched him play. I only saw
I
highlights
didn't
of
see
him.
him like yeah, highlights, and that's the
So
killer
I
with
watched.
me. And
So back
now I leave out
back in the
Maradona, for
day,
example.
there was a forum, but I forget. So back in the days when internet used to have plenty forums. So I was lucky that I was in some forum where this man used to upload all of
He
Laudrup
was
games.
he was real good.
No, so literally Iniesta's like carbon copy of that dude. They both of them used to do the I forget what they call that beat. The 1-2.
1-2, yeah. They
Yeah.
call it
Yeah,
with
when
Pop.
it
Don't
is
forget they
yeah,
call it with Pop Andre.
yeah,
All right, but so
yeah,
both of them used to do the 1-2.
Yeah.
Both of them used to do this running turn thing. Go anyway, but that's the only reason why he didn't make it. I'm just saying, all right, he did for me. I'd see it before, and it's like he good, but it didn't strike me as man. I never. But nah, he was
Right.
real good though. Yeah, he was real good.
I know that's Chris
Iniesta
Boy.
very much.
I know that's Chris Boy, Lodrup.
yeah. Right, well,
Yeah, yes, Zwade. Who's
given the
next?
fact that we
Number
had
two.
13 minutes, we had 13 minutes to go, right?
Yeah,
Number two, Zinedine Zidane. I
of
mean,
course.
what kind of superlatives you could use to describe this man that he has to use?
Unbelievable.
Literally,
Give my Ray Hudson.
yeah,
Ray Hudson. Eh?
He needs help like a fish needs a bicycle.
unbelievable. No. Ray Hudson used to make the football interesting now. These are gladiators, artistry on the pitch.
I remember
Brilliant.
he used to
In
talk
fact,
about. He used to say Ozil with the lovely bedroom eyes.
yeah. And there he goes, tricky like a chipmunk on a wire, some kind of height. Yeah. Right, right.
Right.
Zinedine Zidane, right? Now I mean,
Yeah.
ridiculous. And two things that was amazing to me is that he never seemed to be like caught with the ball and have it stripped from him. And also too, he never seemed stressed like, ooh, what to do, boy?
Yeah,
You know?
facts.
Yeah.
He never seemed like
Ultimate confidence.
nah.
Ultimate confidence.
Control. Like woo, yeah, it was ridiculous. And well, number one for me is Ronaldinho, right?
Oh.
In terms of entertainment. Ronaldinho, right? Ronaldinho.
Maradona make this man
Pure
list, yes?
entertainment.
Wood.
No,
Raheem
I
Sterling,
alright,
Maradona,
let me
Wood.
hear what I'm saying, that,
Wait.
right? And I played it across again. I'm qualifying it again, right? Based on the TV situation, I think when I was growing up, I think I really didn't get to see Maradona play much live, right?
yeah.
I've seen
No,
highlights.
I didn't see him live either.
These people,
Purely, purely
well, all right,
clips. But what I saw was
this is what I'm
just too
saying.
much, though.
I could, hey, you could. No, I not saying man not bad, but I talking about man that I see play
Yeah.
games in context,
Yeah.
right? And this is something that we I personally, yeah, our go see is a real thing, right? I mean, yeah, highlights could make anybody. It could make Osei look like Ozil. Well, because both of us move at the same speed,
So
and move the same way, right?
I'm
But
faster than Ozil. Sorry, go ahead.
thank God. But the reality is, right? I just wanted to base this, and that's why I want to set the metric on men that I have really seen, not just play like one-off games or but consistently over a period of time, and also to would have shaped my perspective on the game and what I like, what I dislike in terms of it, right? Maradona, yeah, he bad, but this my five here, right?
All right.
Definitely.
All right.
Just now, Zwade, before you go down there,
Mm-hmm.
Andre, that Carlos Valeron point was that
Yeah, Valeron's
Deportivo
bad
team
too.
with Fran and Tristan,
Yeah,
Diego
Fran,
Tristan and
Tristan and thing, yeah,
Boss.
that was a bad team.
Still, that team was fun. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
You remember Jalminia too?
I remember Jalminia slightly, but I just remember my favorite player on that team was Fran, though. That left foot was sweet,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that Deportivo front line had Roy
Yeah.
Mackay and
Roy
Candiani or something. So
Mackay.
yeah,
right,
Roy
Roy
Mackay.
Mackay and Candiani. Yeah,
Roy Mackay probably will see Van Nistelrooy any nightmares, dog. I think that's one of the reasons why he didn't see it all the way, because he couldn't make the team because of Van Nistelrooy, I think. Something. Roy Mackay was good.
how you gonna say about it?
Right. Yeah, what I was saying is that I just took the time to jot down as you all were describing your players, right? So, and then I eliminated the ones that were kind of common and shared, right? And in terms of the unique players, I have a kind of interesting lineup here,
Yeah,
right? The unique
Oh
players.
boy. Oh
So,
boy.
Gerard is the only one that only will say he had, right? And Gerard two unique players in terms of Totti and Cruyff, right? And well,
Cruyff is a great pick.
I know Oliver. Yeah, it's a very good pick. Very, very good pick.
and then you
Again,
had Roy Keane and Riquelme.
no, well, I mean, Riquelme, right? Definitely, at least.
You had Roy Keane and Riquelme as your unique.
Why are you leaving
player.
out Roy Keane, dog? Back your boy.
No, I back in him. I know.
Right.
I not expecting no support from Oli, but I just letting Oli know. So I mean, Riquelme though, because let me look at these players here. They say you have an impressionable youth man.
Yeah.
And I say, come on, watch this. I mean, he was, oh God, daddy, I see Ronaldinho video. Yeah, right? These are some of the guys that you could pick up
I'm
a
watching Jadon
YouTube
Sancho,
vid
but I
and
don't
say,
see Ronaldinho.
well, this is what I'm saying. These youths don't understand the history, but you can't vex with them because it's who they're going to see.
I could introduce one topic to make Andre rant a little bit.
Go ahead, my man.
Just a small rant, Zwade. I can
By all
introduce it
means,
to
go
Andre.
ahead.
Andre,
But I told you, go ahead.
what do you think is Nikolas Pepe's problem, if anything at all, and can his career be saved in terms of being a productive footballer? Yes,
You ain't gonna like what I had to say, but
I want
so
to
I
hear
think-
what you had to say.
all right. So I watched when Pepe was bought.
Yeah.
I think I messaged you this before. So obviously I didn't watch Liga all teams.
Yeah.
So when Pepe was bought, I went trying to find clips of Pepe.
He was so good.
I tried to find goals and assists, and then I tried to find skills, and I tried to find just individual Pepe versus Marseille, Pepe, right, whatever. And I was very excited because I'm like, so this dude in his raw form is better than Salah in his raw form.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch Salah play in Syria, Fiorentina, and all this stuff, right? So I was very excited. He comes to Arsenal. So I'm starting to put into context. I think when a player changes league, there's a couple of things that could happen. So there's one, just like us going to work, if your home life is a mess, you're going to be a mess in work too.
Yeah.
So there's the part of it that is, how well did he settle into London coming from France? So I don't know what Arsenal does for settling players and all this stuff, but I don't know. That could be a factor. Then there's the players' intelligence for, like intellect, for settling into a new environment and being able to now absorb how, I mean, he came in, who was the coach first when he came?
Emery.
Right? Good
Emery
evening.
bought him, and then
So there was good evening and his tactics.
Yeah.
Right?
Just not to cut in. His first game against Liverpool, he showed so much promise. He run past Van Dijk. He had some chances. Anyway, go ahead.
But basically, I look at him and I'm seeing a player who basically it's a crisis of confidence, right? It's a crisis of belief and confidence, and it's a crisis of understanding what he's supposed to do on the field for Arsenal. Right? Now that could be for any number of reasons, but he basically looks a shell of his former self, similar to how I'll talk about Mahrez looks a shell of his former self. It's a player who, every time you see Pepe, he's not choosing to take on the man. He is not making that choice every time. Now there's sometimes where a team they don't play the ball to you quickly enough so that you don't really have the avenue to take on anymore. Okay, but then there's situations where no, he's been given the ball, he took it in stride. All right, take on the man.
Cut back.
He cuts back, and there's a part of me that think is a part of coaching. He's been told he's supposed to hold a certain weight. He's not supposed to just be taking on men all day. You need to do the high percentage. What I don't know, but basically at this point, I don't think he could be saved at Arsenal unless Arsenal change coach completely, change identity complete, and that's not going to happen. So I think he's a player that's just going to end up getting sold.
Cool.
I mean, we've seen it many times. Right? Hey, we've seen it many times. Big players go
KDB.
change teams.
big players. And then remember it's a matter of player maturity, because they could mature at different age.
Yeah, the one that sticks out the most is Fernando Torres. Where literally he just changed town within England. He changed coach, and the dude went from Fernando Torres was a killer.
Yeah.
He was absolute killer number 9. And now he's a man who doubting his touch. He doubting whether or not to do a side foot or use the laces.
He had a bad injury around that time too. He had a bad injury too. So
he missed that open goal. He was really something was wrong.
Yeah, confidence.
And I think a lot of times we take for granted that football players are affected by psychology like everybody else. So
we know.
If their mind is not right, they're not going to be able to reproduce. For whatever myriad of reasons.
I personally regret that I didn't work out for Lukaku at Manchester United. But he head wasn't correct. The man diet wasn't a mess. Because our father, he was under some grief. He and his child mother that was going through that little grief apparently or something like that.
Or if you want to rant
about
Lukaku.
That will be our next time.
I'm going to separate episode.
And all them kind of things. No, I understand. I sensitive to the guy as a player. Me going around about Lukaku, he's no longer my player.
I think here's my problem.
Continue.
And I'm going to just say this quickly. Lukaku's problem is that he was so big, strong, and fast that he did not learn the basics.
The pigeonhole him into something.
At a young age. So anything he did at a young age was working. Because have you seen
he'll dominate.
Next to the next kid? Next 16-year-old, like a giant.
Yeah.
Why would I have to learn?
He played on that 16, and the only thing he was under was the crossbar, you know. You think.
Why
You
would
want
I
that? Like the man playing on
the
that 16.
basics? I'm running past. If I hit a wild miss kick shot is going to score because the keeper can't stop it. And I think that was Lukaku's problem. Anyway, that was my
I
quick.
mean, if we watching football long
That's
enough,
okay.
we've seen players like Lukaku before. We've seen players who
Name one. Just so
Pauletta from PSG.
Pauletta wasn't a 6 foot
I know. All right. The player I'm talking about
pass.
is, and you know who's very similar to Lukaku as well? Raheem Sterling is very similar to Lukaku as well. And here's the profile. The profile is not that they're the same type of player.
Yeah,
But
It's his speed.
It's the profile of player who, all right, you've seen players when you watch them play, and so many of the time, you're not really sure if what they just did, they intended to do.
We in Fergie time, right? Just it.
You know what I'm talking about? So like, you watch Raheem Sterling, and it's not necessarily like, I don't know.
Come off good.
It's hard to say this in a succinct way, right? But it's just no. So much of what you're watching, you're like, okay, he got past the man. It was successful, but it didn't look like he actually was trying to drag there. It didn't look natural. It didn't look like it's supposed to look. And Lukaku and Sterling right now, current players, you get that sensation every time they're doing something. Now, right, like I tell you, I could rant about Lukaku because I saw him live, and then for a while people were talking a lot of he was getting a lot of trash. So I started trying to watch games of Manchester United just to watch him. And then there was a point in time when they were rating him up in Everton that I said, all right, let me actually watch him.
he was very good in Everton, though. Or at least very productive. Sorry.
I will just say he is textbook what I'm talking about in my latest blog post. Where
check it out. Football Rehab blog post.
where the numbers
Blog spot.
the numbers tell you, oh, this is an elite player and ting. But you watch the guy play and it's kind of like, well, he is more of the, we talk about expected goals.
Yeah.
He is the player who, all right, statistically, is almost like he has to score that much because he gets into so many good positions. Because on his teams, he's such a focal point. And I mean, this is not to discredit the man. Like, I cannot make no mistake. I'm not saying, oh, he's really a Sunday league level. Like, no, he is a good player. He's an international quality player. He will start on many national teams with that quality. But his numbers are, they misrepresent the reality quite a bit.
Cool.
That's
I'll
how
take
we
that.
are.